Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome to our poetry lesson video. So me and my friend are going to talk about figurative language in a poem. So what is figurative language and what does it have to do with the poem? We're going to find out right after this. But first, I want you to listen to a poem called Lost Philosophy by Percy Bysshe Shelley. So without any further ado, let's hear the poem first.
The fountains mingle with the river, and the rivers with the ocean. The winds of heaven mix forever with a sweet emotion. Nothing in the world is single. All things by a law divine in another's being mingle. Why not I with thine? See, the mountains kiss high heaven, and the waves clasp one another. No sister flower could be forgiven if it disdained its brother. And the sunlight clasps the earth, and the moonbeams kiss the sea. What are all these kissings worth, if thou kiss not me?
Hi guys! Let me introduce ourselves. Our group consists of 4 people, starting from me, Maura, Natasya, Mulyawanata. Then there are Safira, Dyah, Dewi, Alya, Ramadhani, Putri, and the last one is Adit, Wahyu, Kurniawan. After listening to the poem, how do you all feel? Do you feel happy or sad after listening? And do you know the meaning of the poem? If you don't get it, I will explain the meaning of the poem to you. For its overall meaning, Percy Bysshe Shelley's poem Lost Philosophy explores the interconnectedness of nature as a metaphor for romantic love. The speaker argues that since natural elements like rivers and mountains unite, human souls also embrace love. He expressed a longing for physical intimacy, suggesting that love is a natural love. The poem culminates in a rhetorical question about the worth of nature's beauty if unreciprocated love exists, highlighting feelings of unrequited desire and disappointment. Ultimately, it portrays love as both essential and inherently intertwined with the universe's harmony.
Hello. So we are finally moving on to the next part, which is the figurative language, right? Do you guys have any idea of what figurative language is? Yeah. And so, I'm going to start to explain a few things about figurative language itself. Figurative language is a way of using words to create pictures of or feelings in the reader's mind, often by saying something that isn't literally true but helps explain an idea in an interesting way. You guys have any idea of what kind of pictures or feelings that is created from this use of words? There are plenty of types, and we are going to go through 8 of them, which are the hyperbole, the irony, onomatopoeia, imagery, personification, rhetorical questions, metaphor, and simile. And so we are going to, look at this part. We have these line up like this around the figurative language. Hyperbole. So what is a hyperbole? Hyperbole is an exaggerated statement not meant to be taken literally. It is often used for emphasis or effect in the reader's mind, and this technique adds drama or humor to add more description and convey strong feelings. For example, "Oh, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse." It emphasizes extreme hungers that someone could even eat a horse. And then, she's been working for 24/7, meaning that she's been working non-stop and for 24 hours whole a day. And then in the other example, she has a mountain of homework, suggesting that she has a large, daunting amount of work that it creates a mountain of it. Moving on to the next one, we have irony. Irony itself involves a discrepancy between expectation and reality. Or we could probably see here that the use of words to express the opposite of literal meaning. It highlights contrast, creating humor or emphasize themes. There are several types of irony, such as verbal irony, which is saying something but meaning the opposite. Situational irony, where the opposite of what's expected happens. And then dramatic irony, where the audience knows something the character don't. For example, for verbal one, "Oh, fantastic," after spilling a drink. And the situational one, "A professional swimmer drowns." And then the third one, the dramatic. In Romeo and Juliet, the audience knows Juliet is alive, but Romeo believes she is dead. Moving on to the next one, we have onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia uses words that sound like their meaning, helping readers hear the sound that the writer is describing. We often use this to name sounds based on what we perceive to hear. For example, the clock ticked, where ticked mimics the sound of a clock. Or the bees buzz, imitating the sound bees make. The fire crackled, conveying a popping sound of fire. The next one is imagery. Imagery involves using descriptive language that appeals to the scenes, sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell to create mental image for readers. It uses vivid description that appeals to readers' sense to create image in their head. For example, the golden sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the tranquil sea. This description evokes visual imagery and serene atmosphere. And then the next one is personification. Personification is where you add human attributes to non-human entities to make them relatable and enhancing emotional engagement. This technique helps readers to connect with nature or abstract concepts on a personal level. For example, the sun peeked through the clouds, as if the sound is shy or playful. Or, the old house groaned in the wind, suggesting the house makes sounds like a human in discomfort. Or, opportunity knocked on his door, meaning he has given a chance. On to the next one, we have rhetorical question. A rhetorical question is asked for effect rather than requiring an answer. It is often provokes thoughts or emphasizes a point. For example, "Isn't it time we took action?" This question encourages reflection on the urgency of action without expecting a direct response. And then moving on to the next one, we have metaphor. Metaphor is a figure of speech that makes an implicit comparison between two unlike things by stating that one thing is another. This technique helps convey deeper meanings or emotion without using like or as, creating a vivid imagery and connection between two concepts. For example, "He's a night owl," meaning he stays up late like an owl. Or, "Her heart is a stone," suggesting she is emotionally distant or cold, just as hard as stone. Or, "Time is a river," implying that time flows continuously and cannot be stopped, just like the river. And the last one is simile. Simile is similar to metaphor, but makes a direct comparison using the words like or as. This technique clarifies description by highlighting similarities between two different things. For example, her voice was like velvet, suggesting her voice is soft and smooth. Or, he fought like a lion, implying bravery and strength, just like how a lion is. Or, the kids were as busy as bees, indicating they were very active or industrious, just like bees. And now we're finally done with the explanation of the figurative language.
So here's the thing. The figurative language that used in the poem titled Love Philosophy by Percy Bysshe Shelley. First, we have rhetorical question. As you can see in the poem, there are lines, "Why not I?" with thine, and "If thou kiss, not me," counts as a rhetorical question. The poet wrote questions for whoever the one he intended to, even if he knew that there would be an answer right away after he wrote the poem. Second, we have personification. There are some examples of personification like the fountains mingle with the river, see the mountains kiss high heaven, the wave claps another, and the moonbeams kiss the sea. The words kiss, claps, and mingle are actions that usually be done by humans. Putting them as if they are verbs that are done from nature objects is what we call personification. It gives the poem a life for us to feel emotionally connected with. Third, imagery. Although it's the same line as a personification, the focus of imagery itself is to give an image or visual from the words alone. For example, fountains mingle with the river. The idea of fountains mingling with the rivers make us imagine a picture where fountains and river are closely tied with each other. Then, the sunlight claps the earth, and the moonbeams kiss the sea. Sunlight and moonbeams give us a vivid visualization of night and day, where the sunlight hits the ground and the moonlight is reflected on the surface of the sea. So, what have you learned today? Leave it on the comment section below because I would love to read your thoughts about figurative language. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you when I see you. Bye bye.